But
we
going ham now.
Okay, that's what I was going with too.
Yeah.
We going ham.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Brothers Game Podcast.
Yo, yo.
With Nicolai.
I'm Brian.
Yeah, let's go.
Woo! All right.
And that's the vibes today. Ladies and gentlemen watching and other, I am at 14,322
Attempts.
soft
at...
resets at my shiny Kyurem, and we are still in it. I am at 1.5 to 1 odds at the moment. I'm about 2,000 away from 2 to 1 odds.
Yep.
So there you go.
There you go.
John Stone just posted a new video today, and he went through every generation of Pokemon and caught a shiny in each one with the various best shiny hunting methods, basically, from each game, and so that was inspirational for me. I'm like, see, it can be done.
Yeah.
He got some lucky ones. So anyway, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
What are you up to, Brett?
Oh, also Pokemon.
Oh, weird. We are talking about other stuff today also.
We will.
Besides just Pokemon. Mm-hmm. But do you want to tell us about the Pokemon you've been playing?
Yeah.
Do you want to start with that?
It won't be long because it wasn't that interesting.
Awesome. Hey, this sucks. We're going to tell you about it.
Yeah.
This is super boring and lame.
So
enjoy.
I always play Pokemon with strong, fast Pokemon that don't have a lot of survivability.
Right.
Glass cannons,
That's
as
your
they're
typical,
often referred to.
Okay.
That's my typical teams look like that most of the time. So I had the thought, what if I used a team that was the opposite, slow and tanky and just like bulky.
Yes. Gotcha. Big boys.
Lots of health, lots of defense, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just try a playthrough like that. So
Chansey only run.
the thing is, Chansey only has 5 defense, though.
Yeah, I know. It's all HP.
I have on plenty of occasions one shot a Chansey.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
No. It actually took quite a while to select the team because I didn't want them to be too good.
Yeah. That's sort of the
It turns
point
out
of this,
a lot of the bulkier Pokemon are also just good in general.
just have okay stats. Yeah.
And having a Pokemon with high attack was just too similar to what I already did.
Right.
So I played around. I have a spreadsheet that has all the Pokemon and all their stats, so I can whittle it down to. I was looking for Pokemon with high health, high defense,
High health,
and or high special. Since this was Gen 1. I was actually going to do this in Fire Red and Leaf Green, but there's a specific reason why I didn't.
Oh, okay.
So I'll get to that.
Okay.
And then I wanted their attack stat to be pretty low.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You wanted it to be hard. So was sort of the point.
So
yeah.
I got a Wigglytuff was a pretty obvious choice. It's pretty high up in terms of effective health stat. It has a pretty decent special stat, but its attack stat is pretty low. And then a Lickitung?
Lickitung. Terrible.
Yeah, pretty
Terrible Pokemon.
Yeah, not a very good attack stat, but pretty bulky.
Uh-huh.
And then I was looking at the tankier flying types. Most of the flying types are pretty papery. They can't really handle a lot of abuse.
Definitely.
Pidgeot is like, I think, the tankiest non-legendary.
Yeah,
But Pidgeot's
he's
also
pretty good.
really strong in general.
Yeah.
So I did see
Pidgeot's
that
just good.
Golbat is actually pretty tanky, and he's a flying type. Unfortunately, he can't learn fly until Gen 4.
That's so stupid.
So,
That's so weird to me, man.
but in Gen 1, I can hack in whatever moves I want. So
Oh, nice.
instead of doing it in Fire Red and Leaf Green, I was like, well, I want to do this with a Golbat, so I'm going to play Fire Red and Leaf, or Red and Blue instead, Blue in this case, and then just
force him to have fly.
Golbat fly. Yeah, I mean, I'm already hacking in some of these Pokemon anyway, so
Right, you didn't go catch a Lickitung legitimately. Yeah.
no. So it was not much of a stretch to then also change their moves. And then I think I had one more, but frankly, I'm struggling to remember what it would be.
Why is it always like that?
It is.
Why can I never
always.
remember all 6 of them?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
So
Like, where's my team in my mind?
my Wigglytuff was right, a dugong.
Oh yeah.
Because a dugong is a pretty tanky water type, but his offensive stats are just not
cool.
very good.
Yeah, it's a shame because he's kind of cool.
Yeah. So, I in Route 1, I put it in a Jigglypuff, a Lickitung, a Seal, and a Zubat. Mm-hmm. So that I caught them all at the lowest possible level to try and maximize their EVs. Mm-hmm. Lickitung was predictably a bit stronger than the rest of them because he's fully evolved technically in Gen 1.
Right.
But not by a lot. His attack stat was only 10 higher than theirs.
Yeah.
They were all actually...
He just doesn't have a great
They actually
attack
all
stat,
had a base attack of 45. Except Lickitung, whose was 55.
Yeah.
So not that big a difference. So I get to Brock, and I'm like, oh, right, this isn't going to go well, I don't think, because I didn't have any special moves.
Yeah.
So you know who was MVP
normal
against
attacks,
Brock?
yeah.
Lickitung with Wrap.
With Wrap.
It was shockingly effective.
Isn't that... Are they resistant to that?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And Wrap has like 15 power or something stupid. So I
Weird.
don't know why, but his health was just going down real fast
But
while
Gen
I was
1 Wrap
spamming
2
Wrap.
is really good because
they get trapped.
They can't move.
Yeah. So I just spammed that.
That's interesting.
That did the trick there. And then like I gave Wigglytuff like Mega Punch, Bubble Beam, Thunderbolt. Nice, well-rounded
Good stuff.
types.
Wigglytuff isn't terrible.
No.
I mean, it's just worse Clefable, but...
Yeah. And Zubat was Golbat was my flying type, and yeah. But the thing is none of these Pokemon were like seemed all that tanky.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some of they died often enough that I was just like, this doesn't really feel any different.
Huh.
And with moves like Mega Punch and stuff, which is a move you can get in Mount Moon.
Yeah.
They put
Just
that in the
there,
game.
yeah.
That's a legitimate thing. They were kind of too good. I was kind of trying to get a team that wasn't very good offensively, and I failed to do that. They were too good offensively.
Amazing.
And between bad stat boosts and them being over leveled and stuff, it just was no different than a normal playthrough for me, hardly.
Do you think it would have been much harder if you had 6?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But it would have been a struggle to find 6 Pokemon that were both bulky and not really good otherwise.
You could have just gotten bad Pokemon too.
It's like there's not a lot of Pokemon in Gen 1 that are pure tanks and all their other stats are bad.
Right. For sure.
So you might think Onyx, but his health stat is actually really low.
Right.
His defense is 160 or something. It's pretty high.
It's amazing.
But his health is only 35. Cloyster, on the other
all
hand,
his other
180
stats are
defense.
20.
And
Cloyster's really good.
his health's
actually.
like 50 something. So yeah.
Cloyster's really good.
But yeah, so it turned out to just not be that interesting.
So Gen 1 sucks is what you're saying, basically? That's interesting.
Gen 1 is not well balanced.
No, not at all.
That's the thing.
Not at all.
It's not bad, it's just not well balanced.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing now, because I never have a team bigger than 4 in Gen 1 because of the Elite Four. So a team of 4 tends to be in the upper 50s for me. Mm-hmm. Team of 5 is in the lower 50s, and a team of 4 is lower 50s. Team of 5 is upper 40s. Team of 6 is lower 40s.
Yeah.
Lower 40s.
That's
not really very easy to beat the Elite Four with. So actually what I'm doing right now is I'm doing another playthrough with like even better Pokemon than I normally have. Just pure glass cannons. Like, instead of Blastoise, Tentacruel.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of Raichu, Jolteon. Instead of Fearow, Dodrio. Just slightly better than my usual team, and it's a team of 6. And I'm trying to see if can I overcome them being a lower level by the time I get to the Elite Four.
Just with raw power.
Yeah, just raw power. So just them being really good.
That's funny.
We'll see.
I'm
about to fight Fuchsia Gym. So
nice. I'm not fighting any gyms. I am just hitting the A button over and over again.
And over and over.
I would say I'm playing Pokemon, but that's a strong term.
Yeah.
Playing. I'm playing other stuff instead.
Yeah. Which we'll get to.
But first, a little bit.
We went and saw a movie.
We finally went and saw a movie.
We finally went and saw the Mario movie.
How long? How long has it been out and we finally watched it?
Weeks.
It's hard to get out to the movies sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Turns out we're kind of busy.
And I was just like, let's just go right now.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
Yeah.
So
I liked it.
That was a film.
I enjoyed it. So when I watch a movie like this, usually I'm looking for, okay, how accurate is this to the source material?
Right.
What do they get right? What do they get wrong? With this movie, it as far as I'm aware, like, I don't know how involved Nintendo was, but obviously this went through their approval process. They had some involvement. So clearly, whatever creative decisions that these people made, the writers made, had Nintendo's blessing. So I just kind of set that aside and just didn't even look for anything that might be wrong. And frankly, I didn't see anything anyway.
That's what I went in with, is just like, this is a Mario movie.
Yeah.
Like, I expect it to be just Mario.
Yeah. But like with the Pokemon Detective Pikachu and with the Sonic movies, I was looking out for, okay, is there anything in this movie that is just like totally wrong?
Right.
Or how right did they get it? And I kind of judged them on how accurate were they. But with Mario, I had that set aside, and so I was like, so I wound up just judging it as a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of how good of a video game movie is it, I judged it on how good of a movie is it.
Yeah. And it was pretty enjoyable, I gotta say. I mean, obviously, we have been Mario players forever. I mean, basically my entire life I've played Mario games.
Same.
Mario 64 is still, one of my favorite games. Paper Mario is our favorite game. Like, we're Mario people. And this was absurdly Mario.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of references is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure just the background things even
and
too.
I'm pretty sure there's plenty that we didn't even catch.
Yeah.
But one of my favorites, and this is a trend I'm seeing in some things that I really like. Like, I hope they keep doing these kinds of things, is remixes of the music from the original stuff.
Yeah, the music was so
like,
well
the music
done.
was very good. I had the same thing with the Pokemon Origins anime.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, definitely.
You just quietly in the background, you hear the rival music when they have their first fight, and that was great.
Sweet. Yeah, there was a pretty good mix of like new and old stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, tons of very original Mario references, but also a lot of like 3D Land and Odyssey references too.
Yeah.
I mean, spoilers, moving on probably, but the whole wedding thing with Bowser and Peach was straight out of Odyssey, obviously.
I wouldn't know any of the Odyssey stuff because I've still actually never played it.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. Very good game. Yeah. That's the plot of Mario Odyssey, is Bowser wanting to marry Peach, and he steals like a dress and all this stuff. So,
was that little star guy from Super Mario Galaxy?
Yeah, that's a Luma from Mario Galaxy. Not a particular one. That was like a sort of original character, but yeah, clearly that's a thing, you know? I could see them bringing that in.
The nihilistic Luma.
Yeah, that was a weird. That's
The only way out is the sweet release.
very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I would love if they brought in Rosalina and all that in another one, but there was another reference to Galaxy in it too. Something was labeled like something Galaxy. It had like the planet and stuff, something like that.
Yeah.
I was definitely looking out for Paper Mario references because it's one of the more niche Mario things.
Right.
And there weren't, I don't think, any blatant ones. I have a headcanon almost that one of the very first scenes when they're fixing a bathroom in Brooklyn, that is sort of a reference to Paper Mario. Because as they cover a thing that's spewing water, another thing starts spewing water. And the only Mario game I know of that has happened was in Paper Mario on Lava Lava Island.
Yeah.
When you're using blocks to like cover fountains of water. So I'm gonna just say that's Paper Mario reference, and so that means a remake is confirmed. So that's just a fact. Wow. Ask Nintendo. Yep. My uncle works at Nintendo. Yeah. So yeah, it was obviously a kids movie, you know, and the plot was thin at best. Yeah. But again, it's not a Scorsese film or something.
Neither of us went in expecting this deep plot with like all these
incredible cinema,
nuance and
Miyamoto has said many times that Mario doesn't really have a story and doesn't need one, and he doesn't really care about story in video games. No. So that's perfectly understandable. It had all the fun things you want basically. Not as many references to sports as I thought there would be. I thought there would be a sports game reference of some sort. Obviously they hit the Mario Kart thing, which was pretty cool. The I guess you could argue Mario and Donkey Kong fighting was kind of Smash Bros. Yeah. But it didn't really work like Smash Bros. But that's fine. Yeah.
And I mean, obviously Donkey Kong was the original villain. So
yes. So having them sort of at odds with each other totally made sense.
Yeah. I did think it was interesting that like Mario being kind of an upstart trying to prove himself thing was an interesting angle.
Yeah. Yeah, like his parents didn't believe in him and stuff. Yeah. I was like, interesting.
In most of the games, he's a well-known hero. Yeah. Like he has a reputation for being a hero, and like
I think
has
done
many
this is sort
exploits.
of origin story, basically. Yeah. So I think it makes sense because I mean, the Mushroom Kingdom was new to him. In this movie.
Also, making him not like mushrooms.
Yeah, that was funny.
Interesting too.
It's like I
didn't expect that.
He just. So every game, he's just been choking them down because he has to. Yeah. It's like, okay. Yeah. There were some interesting choices, but it all sort of worked together. Because the games don't have a lot of story, I'm sure having to make one up is kind of difficult. Yeah. And have it all work together. Plus, they have to make it accessible to everyone. And
Is there any Mario game besides 64 that has those penguins?
Those penguins in particular?
Or at least penguins that have that color scheme.
Yes. Well, I mean, even the Paper Mario ones do have that color scheme. They just look different design.
Yeah.
But they're usually light blue. I mean, they're not really ever main characters.
Right. I
know they're in like, there's a really well-known mini game in Mario Party that has them.
Yeah. Well, and like Mario Kart, they're on the icy level too. I was just like wondering, like,
they're really not main characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think they're sliding around a few levels in, like Super Mario, like Wii U and stuff, like Super Mario Bros. Wii games like that. I think they're like in a few ice levels. But they're
always
very
just
background.
like in the side.
They're very background. I think they may have been not Odyssey, but Galaxy, in a couple levels in Galaxy, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, always side characters.
Yeah.
So it was interesting that was the opening scene, sort of. But it was a great like introduction to Bowser, and like the fire and ice thing kind of worked. So obviously we haven't mentioned Bowser yet. Jack Black is absurd and great as Bowser. I mean, he's so obviously Jack Black about it, but I mean, it worked pretty well, I would say.
I think so.
Yeah. Him just being obsessed with Peach the whole time it works. I mean, that is sort of true in the games.
Yeah.
Is that he's,
well, I mean,
it's pretty much his focus most of the time.
Like, he goes from just capturing her in the early games to in like Sunshine, he's like,
yeah, be Bowser Jr.'s mom, basically. Yeah, that's true.
And so,
and yeah, in like newer Paper Marios, he's always like in love with her, basically. So,
oh well, even in the original, he loves her. So
yeah,
that's
true.
The original Paper Mario.
So yeah, it's pretty on brand.
Him loving
pretty
Peach is pretty
on brand.
Par for the course, normal.
Yeah, not much else to say about it, really.
The way they handled the superstar at the end was
super cool,
awesome, totally fan service moment, but like in a good way.
It was one of the things I wanted most was for him to grab Bowser by the tail and swing him around like in Mario 64. So I am glad he did that. Yeah, the very beginning part where him and Luigi get separated, and Luigi's in like the scary place. That whole scene makes me really want them to do a Luigi's Mansion movie.
Yeah,
I think that would be awesome. I
wondered if they were going to have some nods to Luigi's Mansion in that.
And I mean a little bit, just in the fact that just the scenario he was in, but no boos at all were there, so it was all Shy Guys, which was more akin to like Yoshi's Island. But yeah, I think even Charlie Day mentioned in an interview that he wants them to do a Luigi's Mansion movie or something. So that's cool. So yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, I mean, there's no way they're not doing more movies now, as this is the second, I think, biggest animated movie of all time now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did not know
I think
that.
it's right behind Frozen 2.
Wow.
I think Frozen 2 was number 1, and it's now number 2. So with that and Tears of the Kingdom, Nintendo's having a good year. So I guess we'll see what they do next. I'm sure they'll do another Mario one next, but after that, I'm sure they'll branch out into other franchises. I think a lot of, from what I've seen online, people want Metroid more than anything as a movie, so that'd be interesting. I would love like a little more of a serious like Alien type movie with Metroid. I think would be awesome, but.
Yeah, and Samus deserves to have a story told that's good, as opposed to the Other M. And
as opposed to Other M, which is mixed reviews, I would say. I don't hate it as much as a lot of people hate it, but it's also not very good either. So
to be fair, I haven't actually played the game, but I know enough of the story.
It is not a good game.
Yeah, not really.
The story's better than the game is. It's not a good game. No, Metroid Prime is the prime Metroid, in my opinion. Yeah. Although I haven't played the third Metroid Prime. I really need to.
No.
Got to do that. I'm amazed they haven't put out the whole trilogy yet on the Switch. I mean, I guess they did the remaster recently, which I still need to play. But yeah, I wonder if they'll remaster 2 and 3 or just put it out also. Yeah, I guess we'll see. Anyway, hey, Tears of the Kingdom, huh?
Well, so your birthday was just a few days ago. And
it was. So happy birthday to me.
I got you.
I'm 48 now.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm 27.
Yep.
That's a vine.
Oh, cool. So I bought you Tears of the Kingdom, and as well as myself.
Because I couldn't afford it.
So we both started the same day.
We did different times of day, but it was actually yesterday.
Yeah. So we both have a few hours, I think.
I have a few.
You probably have more than me at this point, yeah. Because I only played for about 3 hours or so.
I stayed up till midnight playing it. I was going to go to bed at 10, and then I found this thing, and then I found another thing. So I am at least 6 hours in. Probably more like 8, though.
No.
Probably more like 8 hours. So we'll talk mostly about your experience and my experience with the intro, if you want.
Okay.
So just so you people know, we're only going to be spoiling the prologue, basically.
Yeah.
So there won't be too much of that, but this is a game you definitely want to go into blind. So if you don't want to listen to that, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the first half of the episode. Okay, moving on. Yeah. Brian, let's talk about how it started for you.
Okay. Yeah, interesting opening sequence. Just
so interesting.
Following Zelda through these catacombs.
It is so unique among Zelda games.
Yeah.
You start the game with max hearts and the Master Sword. I'm like, that is so different. That's insane.
And then you actually...
it was right after Breath of the Wild.
And Zelda's actually talking to you. That seems like actually a very rare thing
you two actually
in Zelda
hanging
games.
Out together is unheard of, basically.
Yeah.
But don't worry, she'll get ripped away from you instantly.
And then so this Demon King, which didn't seem to have a lot holding him down there.
Wow.
Like that seemed like a very loose seal.
Barely holding him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with the gloom coming out, I think he was already seeping out, like he was already breaking the seal or something like that. So,
and then
dude, that was pretty scary.
Shattering the Master Sword,
like it was nothing.
That's
like
setting a whole new precedent for Zelda, right?
Like, he's like, you are nothing.
Has anything broken the Master Sword before?
No,
before this,
not like
in
that.
Zelda games?
Definitely. I think maybe it was Skyward Sword. It was like useless basically because it wasn't powered up enough because it wasn't in its true form. Once it's in its true form, though, it's unstoppable.
Yeah.
That's sort of the thing, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was awesome. Like, he's just like, bleh. And just like, his arm was just dead.
Yeah.
Just decayed. Yeah, that was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great villain entrance to be like, your magic is nothing to me.
Mm-hmm.
But... And then you got a sweet, cool new arm.
Yeah.
So
also, all those hearts you had, bye.
Yep. I was like, April was watching me play it, and I was like, watch me lose these hearts instantly. When I saw I had max hearts,
it's the same.
I'm like, ain't no way I'm keeping those.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was a great opening sequence.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's not totally unusual for games in general of you starting really strong and then having your power stripped away from you at the beginning of the game.
That's very Metroid, actually. Metroid Prime, that always happens. Yeah. Yeah, there's other games that do that too, but I can't remember now. Yeah. But yeah.
Seems like Paper Mario kind of did that too. You weren't necessarily super strong, but you clearly were badly wounded and stuff, and so you had to be nursed back.
You were already
health
experienced, but now you're back to the beginning, basically. Yeah, very true. And then you wake up in the sky.
Yeah. And so
gorgeous.
Skyward Sword references.
So Skyward Sword. So these Zonai people, right, are like the origins of Hyrule, basically, which is sort of what Skyloft was in Skyward Sword too.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, sort of the connections there.
Yeah.
I'm sure Skyloft must be mentioned at least or something.
Yeah, I wonder if this is how they're gonna like bridge some of the story between like Skyward Sword and some of the other games.
Because these are the original people, basically, sort of. But that's what Skyward Sword is, right? Like Skyloft is before every other Zelda game.
Yeah.
And this is after every Zelda game.
Yeah.
Sort of. So I'm like, I wonder what the connection there is exactly. Yeah, and then Raru is so cool.
Yeah.
I think he looks awesome. Little goat dude with like the ears and that is going to be cosplayed a lot. And it's going to be really expensive and complicated to get the full thing. Yeah, so this great Sky Garden, I think it's called, is definitely like, it's the Great Plateau, right? But in the sky. Like, this is your new, starting area. And it already, like, we've played Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So we get it, right? We get how Breath of the Wild works. It is so different.
Yeah.
How is it so the same, but so different? Like, everything looked new and complicated and scary to me a little bit. I don't know. Something about it. I don't know how far you really got in the Great Garden.
I have been like combining things together.
Okay, so you got that. Did you get all of the abilities?
Just two.
Just
so
two.
far,
Okay,
yeah.
so
I've only been to two shrines.
So you have the third one to get still.
Yeah.
So you have the hand and the fusing weapons thing.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. The third one is amazing.
Yeah.
It's like my favorite one actually.
So, like, there was this point where I fused a couple of fans to a couple of logs that I had glued together, basically, to make a little raft. Thing. But I couldn't control it. Like,
yeah, it just sort of goes straight. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I even tried to see if, like, okay, can I put one fan on the back and one on the side, and then like alternate them? But no, if you do that and you swing, it'll turn them both on. Or
they
both
turn them
off,
all on. Yeah, exactly.
But I did manage to get across the little pool. So
yeah, because your stamina would not allow you to swim that for sure.
I've only died once, and it was when one of the guardians like combined a weapon they had that wasn't very strong with a sword and hit me and just one-shot me.
Yeah. There's regular constructs, and then there's captain constructs who are way stronger, and they combine weapons.
I have killed one captain construct.
Yeah, they are much stronger. So from what I can tell, there aren't really good weapons in this game.
Yeah.
They don't just exist like they did in the other one. You have to combine stuff to make good weapons. And so that's going to be a whole new learning curve, basically.
Yeah. My rock stick has been very useful.
Yes, the rock stick is a constant use, basically. Yeah. It's cool, though. The captains have little horns you get from killing them. And if you combine that with a stick, that makes like a really good sword. Yeah. Which is really cool. And you can put them on arrows too to make like stronger arrows. The chew jellies are super useful. Yeah. Because that turns arrows into elemental arrows. If you have like a fire chew or something. Yeah. So that's been really cool. Yeah. So I finished the garden thing. I went down to the surface. I started.
Oh yeah, I'm still up in the sky.
I started a few main quests. Started to fill up my map a little bit. I've done 2 map regions, and yeah, like I said, it is so the same and so insanely different. Like, I can't believe how different it is. Well, the map is the same, but it's really not. Yeah. So right now I'm in the Great Plateau.
Okay.
Because I wanted to go there. I'm like, I got to see what the Great Plateau is like when it's not the starting area. Yeah. And be careful. The Great Plateau. I will just say it's not the starting area anymore. Yeah. That's for sure. So the little fan things. That's called a Zonai device, right?
Right. And you've used the little energy cell to charge.
There are so many devices in the game. I keep finding new ones that do weird, complicated things. Eventually, you'll find controllers for Zonai that you can attach to things, so you can actually steer stuff. Yeah. Which is really nice. You'll find soon you can get capsules that have Zonai devices in them that you just have on you. Okay. So you can just pop them out of the capsule and use them wherever you are. You don't have to just find them. But they're one-time use. Once you've taken it out of the capsule, you can't put it back in your pocket, basically. I'm shocked at how many different things there are. Yeah. So yeah, it's very open. I'm a little like intimidated almost because there's so much. And every time I look around, there's a new thing that I want to go look at. And I'm like, there's so many things. So apparently there's shrines, right? Right. Because there's shrines in the beginning area. But apparently there's also dungeons. Like way bigger, more Zelda-y dungeons. Okay. On the surface somewhere. I don't even know where that is. I don't know what that's all about. Apparently that's the thing. This is one of the best reviewed games since Breath of the Wild. Yeah. It is. Everyone's like, this is untoppable, basically, because it is a sandbox game.
Yeah.
Being able to just lift and fuse and create anything is it's like Minecraft, but there's more of a world to it, so it's even bigger and even more interesting, which is just really crazy. Yeah. So we would play it more today, but it's Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Hey, happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there listening to this podcast. Why are you listening to this? Unless you're our mother, in which case, happy Mother's Day, Mom. We'll hang out later. And I'm currently at 14,374 since we started this podcast. I would love to get it on the air, but we will see. Brian, do you have any hopes or things you're looking forward to in Tears of the Kingdom?
I'm just hoping for a good game.
Yeah.
For an enjoyable game. I like the discovery aspect of these games. For real. So I look forward to just finding cool things that I don't expect.
That's what it's all about for me. And that was the most unexpected thing, is how different and unexpected everything was. Yeah. When you get down to the surface, you're not ready for things that happen. Yeah. Like, what is going on, man? Don't be afraid to move the story along a little bit, because it really opens things up for you to explore more. Yeah. I can get like that in games like this, where I don't want to move on the main quest too soon, because I feel like I'll miss a bunch of stuff. Yeah. But it doesn't happen too bad in this. You kind of know when things are opening up and when they're not. Yeah. I don't even want to spoil things. I don't want to spoil things for you even, because you don't even know. But man, there's a lot of weird things and a lot of enemies and ideas from past Zelda games that weren't in Breath of the Wild are in this, which I think is really cool. The caves. There's a lot of caves. Yeah. Look for caves. They're really cool. They're really cool. No. It's like, I feel like in Breath of the Wild, everything was was surface level, basically, right? You had the ground and mountains and it was more mountain, like the mountains were very important, I feel like. That's where stuff was, kind of. And then there was a few valleys that were kind of cool, but that's it, right? Yeah. In this, it's 3-dimensional. It is all 3 planes of existence. Like, there is a whole game underground and a whole game on the surface and a whole game in the sky. Yeah. Like, it is so insane. This is 3 Zelda games. This is not 1 Zelda game. Yeah. Is how I'm feeling, which is a little overwhelming. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I look forward to sinking 200 hours into this game, basically. If I ever finish the shiny hunt, I will. I'll do it. What was I going to say? What were you going to say? Brian, are you falling asleep?
Oh, yeah. But you're like, that's just because it's Sunday.
What else is new? Yeah. That's okay. My wife is taking a nap right now as we speak. As we speak.
Whereas I might just have a third energy drink. We'll see.
A third? I've had 2 cups of coffee. It was pretty good coffee. I wouldn't mind an energy drink. They're tasty. Yeah. I get them for the taste mostly. Which is so weird to most people, I feel like. Yeah. It's just like, a delicious sody. Yep. Delicious sody. Let us know in the comments what your go-to energy drink is. Hey. Oh, Brian. So this is going out tomorrow. Okay. Right? Is that right? Tomorrow's the 15th? Yep. So this will be out on Spotify and everything tomorrow. If you watch us on YouTube, you know we're catching up on there. What date will we be 1 for 1? Caught up completely?
It should be the June 1st episode should be simultaneous.
Cool. So the next episode. Yeah. So next episode, June 1st, should be going up on YouTube and Spotify the same day.
Yeah. So if you're watching this on YouTube, that'll be tomorrow.
Yep. There you go. Woo. Yeah, it's true because you're doing yeah. So yeah, if this is YouTube, it's May 31st today.
Yep.
That's funny. Or I guess if you're watching it in the future, not the day it's uploaded. No. Let us know in the comments when you're watching this. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
I'm watching this on August 3rd, 2030.
Yeah. Well, we are older.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're still doing this podcast.
We'll find out.
By then, who knows? If it takes off, maybe we will. Yeah. We still did have our best month last month, which is really cool.
It was cool. It's so like on our Buzzsprout account, I can see the trend of downloads over time, and I can do it for the lifetime of the podcast. And you see this massive spike in April, so that was awesome.
Way biggest spike ever. So seriously, thank you guys for listening, for downloading the podcast, following us on Twitter. We've gotten a couple new followers recently. The comments on the YouTube really means a lot. We love the interaction. So yeah, follow us on Twitter at the Brothers G Pod. Brian, there's a Reddit.
r/Brothers Game podcast. We're only 40 minutes in.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else to talk about though. So
well, there's always stuff to talk about.
What do you got?
So YouTube.
You thought this was the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Guess what? Buckle up.
Yeah.
It's still going.
Now, this is when it gets serious because
let's wrap.
YouTube has decided
Tell me about
to go after people using ad blockers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gosh.
There's.
I'm not surprised.
Not everybody has seen this yet, but because they always roll these things out in stages.
Right.
Some people are now seeing a pop-up if they're watching with ad block that says, hey, you have an ad blocker, please disable it to watch videos. And for the time being, there are workarounds. But if otherwise,
they just refuse to let you watch, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, this often gets into arguments about, so like people will talk about like, oh, just use YouTube Premium or just deal with the ads. And this gets into like, should you be able to use ad blocker in the first place, or are you like basically stealing or whatever? And that's people get
ridiculous. But
yeah,
okay.
People get really emotional about this, though.
Yeah, they do.
The comment I hear is, what makes you feel like you're entitled to watching these things for free without ads and blocking the ad revenue that they're getting and stuff. And here's my perspective on it.
Okay,
that is in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
2000
back in the day,
3, 4, 5, 6. People uploaded videos onto sites like Newgrounds and such for free with no expectation of payment. And for the most part, as far as I'm aware, none of them really made any money off of these videos.
Right. I mean,
sites like Newgrounds.
Even Homestar Runner. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the biggest things in entertainment in the web, on the web. It only made money from merch.
Yeah,
because they
it was
sold
completely
merch.
Free and ad-free. I never saw any ads on their site.
Never saw an ad
and
on
Newgrounds at most might have a couple of sidebar ads that were not animated, were not a part of the video. When YouTube first launched, there were no ads on anything. And so the precedent was set that there are free videos online.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, even back in 2006, there was quite a bit of content you could watch for free without ads, or with so minimal ads that you barely notice them. And like, that was normal.
Yeah. I think it's the fundamental correct idea of the internet is that it is open and available, basically. Yeah. And that is the point of it.
Yeah. And here's the thing. If you have watched any of these episodes on YouTube and didn't see an ad, or if you did see an ad, guess what? We haven't seen a penny of it.
Right. We don't get a penny of that.
So
especially at our viewer counts.
So whether or not you use ad block, at least right now, has zero effect on us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I would never disparage anyone for using ad block because ads have become so horrendous on the internet. They're
horrific.
just relentless.
Overdone. That's the problem.
And
it's the problem with greedy capitalism in general. I'm, pro capitalism.
And like,
but
ads are everywhere too. Like, I am bombarded by advertisements all day, every day. And so I do my best to prevent as many of them from reaching my eyeballs as possible.
Yep. Yep. I love that. So like, take me personally. I things like pirating and stuff, I really do it as little as possible. I buy legitimate things as much as possible.
Thankfully, there's a lot of services out there that are
absolutely.
cheap and easy to use.
Absolutely.
That deliver so much content that it's not as... it's not... I don't even want to use the word necessary, but like... It used to be that there was a lot of content that you couldn't get... Well, there's plenty of content you cannot get without piracy because it doesn't exist anymore, essentially, in a legal sense. You can't buy it legitimately. You can't pay the original creator for it because they don't make it available in any way. So, but also, like, it used to be, there was a lot of stuff that was very difficult to get a hold of without just pirating it. Either it was outrageously expensive, or even if you could afford it, it was hard to buy. And so you would pirating would be the only easy way to get your hands on it. And now there's less of a barrier.
So like, what I'm getting at is sort of the idea of choice in how you support entertainment, and that if you really enjoy a creator of some sort, then they should have a Patreon, and you should pay for that Patreon, and you should buy their merchandise to represent the fact you like this person. They make money off of that. That's great. Like, I think that is a far better option than being forced to watch ads. Basically, I think it's the choice aspect that matters most to me. Like, I pay for Rooster Teeth first, which is $6 every single month for early access to content and stuff. I would much rather support them in that way than have to listen to ads every time I watch a video. So and I buy their merch when a cool piece of merch comes out.
I liked CGP Grey. He has a $1 tier on his Patreon, and that is his guilt-free
ad blocking. I love that because he doesn't make more than that.
He makes more off of that than he would off of your ad revenue for watching his videos.
I feel like it'd be a different thing if every single ad you watched gave the creator $10 or something, But
absolutely.
But the fact it's like 0.01 cents or something, then it's like, well, YouTube's taking all that. Who cares what YouTube makes? Like,
and then people make the argument that like YouTube, that it's really expensive to host as many videos as YouTube makes.
I'm sure that's true.
And all the streaming bandwidth and everything that costs a lot of money. But also, Alphabet is one of the largest corporations in the world. They have a lot of money.
They can handle it.
They are not hurting for cash.
Yep. That's definitely my 2 cents on it. That's not surprising though that they're going to try to protect their profits.
Well, and unfortunately, I'm seeing this kind of behavior all over the place. Is they're trying to squeeze every cent they can because stock market's not been doing great. And
exactly.
And I don't care about getting into the details of stocks, but
economy isn't great right now.
The economy hasn't been doing super well. Like we had a absolutely massive, unprecedented growth during COVID, and then now we're moving slowly towards normal again.
Which is bad. For entertainment companies especially. Except for Nintendo, they're doing great. Since Mario and Zelda, they're having a great time. Numbers aren't out for Tears of the Kingdom, but it's probably going to be the best-selling Nintendo game of all time or something. It's so over the top how many copies they've already sold. It's crazy. I heard one thing about both Pokemon and Tears of the Kingdom. Some people have had the audacity, the absolute gall to say, how can Zelda come out and it's this beautiful and polished, whereas Pokemon comes out and it's broken, right? So they take a game made not by Nintendo, not made by Nintendo at all, just distributed by Nintendo. That was made in under 2 years with a much smaller team at Game Freak. They're like, this sucks. Whereas Zelda, one of the biggest franchises of all time, I get Pokemon is too, made in-house by Nintendo with a much bigger team and over 5 years of development. How dare it be better? That makes no sense, right? Yeah, if they had taken 5 years to make Scarlet and Violet, it would have been a lot more polished. I think that's
frankly,
pretty much a given.
They probably could have, if they had just been told, like, make the exact same game, but make it less glitchy, but we'll give you one more year. One additional year. I bet they could have done it.
Just polish it for a year.
They could have made one
that
was as glitchless as Arceus was, which it was,
which
like,
is a really stable game. They clearly can do it.
Yeah, to the point where speedrunners had trouble breaking it.
And still kind of do. Things are pretty hardwired in that game. I would love if Game Freak had like a 1-2 thing going on, right? Where like every year and a half, they put out sort of a cheaper game, you know, that isn't as polished, and we get that because they're making them super quick because they come out all the time. Whereas and then there's one in the background that they've been making for 3 years that comes out after that. That's a lot more. It's a lot bigger.
I'd love it
polished.
And I'd love it if just the big like versions, the mainline titles, versions. if they got more time, and then
do spin-offs in between that still sell pretty well. Do
like
spin-offs.
Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon Gale of Darkness, or whatever.
They should totally do another Coliseum type game. You know, put out another Mystery Dungeon. The last Mystery Dungeon sold really well. They could do it. You know, sometimes the offshoots, Legends Arceus, for instance, sell just as good as mainline games. Do another remake. Like, who cares? You know, like, I don't know. They'll fix it maybe someday. Good times. Is that enough? Are we done?
And then, so we've talked about Nintendo a lot in this. I think
no way.
Somebody who like made a thing that made it really easy to pirate stuff on the Switch. Has to pay Nintendo a lot of money.
Millions or something. Yeah, that's messed up.
Unfortunately, so like we love their games, but Nintendo as a company is not always great in how they handle their approach to some things.
In some things, especially.
I can't blame them for protecting their IP, but I can for them being such jerks about it.
Yeah, they're pretty mean.
Yeah,
it's true.
But whatever.
Yeah, I'm a pretty described Nintendo fanboy and like I'm on their side a lot. Yeah. But absolutely, they're not like they do some messed up stuff for sure. They're a big company. What do you expect though? Yeah.
And with the whole like pirates are the only reason some games still exist.
Exactly.
It's like
they need to just make their games more available, basically. And I mean, they do remakes, they do ports and stuff. Yeah. But they could do more. They could do it even more. People just love old Nintendo games so much. Yeah. They need to just put them out. Like, it's just, it's a real thing. But I mean, the Switch has more Nintendo games than any other Nintendo game ever, the system ever, I should say. Like, man, you can play a lot of games on the Switch. Yeah. It's nearing a perfect console for me. Yeah. For the games I can play on it are really absurd. Yeah.
I am really curious to see what the next Nintendo console will be, because the Switch has been around for a while now.
Long time.
I think
people are going nuts.
This might be like the longest they've gone without a new console release. Yeah. Maybe ever. Maybe. I don't
Especially
remember.
Especially with COVID, probably ever.
Yeah. Because like Xbox has the Series S and Series X, and then PlayStation has Sony has the PlayStation 5.
Yep. Which has been out for a couple of years now.
Yeah, but like those both came out after the Switch had, because the Switch is the same generation as Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But when it's doing as well as the Switch is doing, why would they make a new one? Yeah, I wonder if it'll be like just a more powerful Switch or a totally new thing again. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure, but
Seems like they would do well for them to make just a more powerful Switch that is like completely the same software even as the
like
Switch.
a backwards compatible completely. Yeah.
Just runs the same games, the same software, the same cartridges.
Yeah.
And it's just
it's
more
what they
powerful.
did. It's what they did with the thing I'm playing right now.
Yeah.
The new 3DS.
Yeah.
It was just slightly bigger and had more RAM and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. New console.
They could even call it the new Switch.
I know, and they probably would. Classic Nintendo. New Switch Z or whatever.
New Switch XL.
Switch Z would be really cool.
Yeah.
Switches.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure they will eventually. It's so funny. There's an article saying, new Switch Pro is gonna release in 6 months, all of a sudden, out of nowhere. They've been saying that for 5 years.
I kind of hope they never call the new console the Switch Pro just to make all of those predictions
I hate those headlines
wrong
so
forever.
Much. I'm like, who cares? No one cares. Yeah. Everyone's playing their Switch still. Yeah. I feel like only non-Switch players care about a Switch Pro.
No.
I don't know. Nintendo's philosophy, literally from the Game Boy, has always been using older, more well understood hardware, basically.
Yeah.
That's the point of Nintendo. That's why it's not as optimized, but yet more polished and more solid, typically.
Which is why when they have bleeding edge cases like the N64,
right,
it's a little hard at first.
Sketchy
it's a little
bit,
messy because
it's a little
that goes against their normal.
It's a little we need to
things.
put a RAM pack in the game so that you can play the game.
Yeah,
because we didn't realize that it couldn't handle it. Yeah, DK64 style.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, I'm amazed that's not on the N64 online expansion pass. There's no DK64 on there. Not that I would play it. I don't like that game, but it'd be pretty cool. Yeah. It's funny. I love. I hit that twice. I love Donkey Kong 64. Not Donkey Kong 64. I love Donkey Kong Country and Banjo-Kazooie. Right? And DK64 is basically just a sequel to Banjo-Kazooie with Donkey Kong characters made by the same people and stuff. And I don't like it at all. I think it's terrible.
Yeah.
I think they just did way too much with that game. But whatever. That's just me. Well, I'm in the 400s now.
Yep.
14, 405.
Yep.
I'll post on Twitter when I get it. If I don't get it by the next recording. Brian, shall we end it there?
Yeah.
Good enough?
So. Close enough.
Close enough. All right. Well, go do all the stuff we already said.
Yeah.
Go follow us on Twitter and everything. Go play Tears of the Kingdom, which you probably are already.
And please keep downloading to the podcast. You've been doing great.
I got it.
We're at almost 800 downloads total. Yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad.
It's getting there.
Let's break 1,000. Woo!
Let's break it out. Whoa! Go download. This episode is the viral one.
That's what we said about the other one.
Yeah, but this is the real one. So.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
That's it. We're done.